the NBA is not a players' league. It's not. James Harden, he got what he wanted. After all summer, after throwing parties, saying Daryl Morey is a liar, after coming out and calling Daryl Morey a liar, James Harden got what he wanted early in the season. Only 3 games into the season, we can say he can play a full season with the Clippers now. James Harden is a Clipper, and this didn't take me by shock. To be honest, I'm surprised that they didn't give up Terrence Mann. Okay, I'm surprised they didn't give up Bones Highland. I'm surprised they didn't give up Norman Powell. They kept those pieces and was able to get James Harden. Now, James Harden is not the James Harden from long ago. James Harden is not the James Harden from 2021 when he was playing with the Brooklyn Nets, playing at a high level, playing at an MVP level. I don't know what version of James Harden I am going to get this go around, but you know, if you have been watching the channel, I am a James Harden fan. I want the best for James Harden. I want James Harden to finally get a ring and solidify himself as one of the top shooting guards of all time. Right now, I have him as position number 4. He's a top 4 shooting guard of all time. Yes, he is, but James Harden, you have to make it work this time, okay? No excuses. No excuses, Harden, this time, okay? I don't want no excuses from you. With Brooklyn, it didn't work out. Injuries, we can say that. We know what went on in Brooklyn. With Philly, you played with the MVP, still couldn't get it done in the 4th quarter. In game 6, well, in game 5, 6, or 7 against the Celtics last playoffs. And now you're with the Clippers. This is a great moment for James Harden. They can make things work. This is another super team that's being created here. Russ, PG, Kawhi, and James Harden. You can move Russ to the 2 now, let James Harden play the 1, or keep Russ at the 1. I'm not sure how this will disrupt Russ's offensive game, okay? His feel with the Clippers so far has been good. To be honest, we know that last season he played good with the Clippers. In the postseason, he played good with the Clippers so far. In these 3 games, he's been playing good besides that fadeaway at the end of the game against the Jazz and they lost. We saw Kawhi Leonard smack the floor. Other than that, Russ has been playing pretty solid for the Clippers at the point guard position. I don't know if they move him to the 2 now or keep him on the ball and let James Harden play off the ball. We know that James Harden cannot play off the ball. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be the point guard of the team. That's how James Harden is effective. We saw him in Brooklyn. He was effective at the point guard position. When you put him at the point guard position, he can distribute, he can play make and get to the basket. We don't know if he has that same athletic push, that same burst, that same first step that he once had before the injury in Brooklyn. Now we have to sit and wait. But James Harden got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And this is not an example of this being a players' league. This is an example of it being a superstar players league, because if you are the 10th guy, the 9th guy, the 8th guy, or even the 6th man on the team, you cannot request a trade and go to your preferred destination. You cannot do that. So just because James Harden can do it doesn't mean the 10th guy, the 12th guy on the team can do it. So therefore, this is not a players league. This is a superstar league. Okay, this is a superstar league. Superstars get to do what superstars do. And if a superstar wants out, over the last 5 years, we see the superstars have their way, and we see James Harden have his way once again. He is now a Clipper. Him and PJ Tucker, that's a good addition to add PJ Tucker some more toughness, some more grit on the defensive end, and somebody who can knock down the corner 3. So the Clippers, the time is now. Okay, we thought the time was in 2019, okay, 4 or 5 years ago, but the time is now for the Clippers to show us what they're made of and to show us that they can actually win an NBA championship or make a deep playoff run. We have to wait and see, but this is interesting. The West is so interesting now with the Suns, with the Lakers, with the Clippers, with the Nuggets, with Golden State. It's a lot of teams at play here. We don't know what will happen. But we know either Golden State, Denver, Clippers, LA, Suns, or the Warriors will lose in the first round. That's pretty crazy, insane to say. One of these teams that have this championship aspiration this season will lose in the first round. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But for the Clippers, this is now or never. James Harden, for you, this is now or never. James Harden has the most to prove this season. Okay, you have the most to prove, Harden. You were on a great team. in Brooklyn. You were on a great team in Philly, played with the MVP. Now you're on a super team. Okay. It's fair to say that the Clippers are a super team, right? PG, Paul George, Kawhi, Russ, James Harden. Okay, you still have Norman Powell, Bones Highland coming off the bench. You still have Terrence Mann coming off the bench, my sixth man of the year pick. I don't think that will work out this season. I don't think that will happen. But this is a super team. And Harden, if you can find a way to be a good fit for the Clippers, in my opinion, I think this would be a great fit. You have James Harden to play the two. Russ has to have the ball in his hands. James Harden take a less role of having the ball in his hands, being more of a knockdown shooter. If that's possible, we know that's almost virtually impossible because James Harden has one play style and one play style alone, and that's to get the ball in ISO, pick and roll, high screen and roll, go downhill, attack the basket, step back threes, play ISO ball, kick out to shooters. That's James Harden's game. But now when you have Russ on the team, I'm just curious how this will affect Russ's role for the Clippers because he's been great. Now you add another point guard to the team and James Harden, a guy who needs the ball in his hands all the time. But I think they can figure a way to make this work. They would just have to have to interchange, okay? Russ at points sometimes, Harden at points sometimes. You have to find a way to make these two point guards work. Because if you don't find a way to make Russ fit with James Harden, it's useless having Russ and James Harden on the roster. One of these guys at the end will have to go. But if you can find a way to make these two, cohesive on the court, make them work out, make it gel, this team can be a team to be reckoned with. It can be a scary team to face. But hey, now it's up to the Clippers to show us what they're made of. It's up to James Harden, okay, to silence all the doubters. This is the year, Harden, to silence all the doubters and show us you can show up in the playoffs. Show us you can play with other great players and get it done and win an NBA championship. It is championship or bust for the Clippers. And if they don't get a championship this season or the next 2 years, this is a total fail. Okay, it's a total fail. A good squad around James Harden, PG, and Kawhi, and Russ. They should be able to make a deep playoff push and get to the NBA Finals either this year or next year. Basically, you have one full season with James Harden. In my opinion, keep James Harden at the 2, keep Russ on the ball, and find a way to make them just be able to coexist on the court with PG and Kawhi Leonard. We have to find a way, but we don't know what type of player we are getting from James Harden. We don't know if James Harden can fit the role as off guard and play off the ball. We know we haven't seen him do that in the past. So ask him to do that now. So, he's all the way towards the end of his career now, basically. It's not the end, but he's getting there. And we're asking him to completely change his approach to the game. I don't know if he can do that in 1 year. We have to wait and see. But him and Russ, find a way to make that work. If you can find a way to make those two coexist on the court, find a way to keep James Harden happy, keep Russ happy on the court, and keep him effective on the court, and make James Harden a guy who is willing to buy into Tyronn Lue's system. If he can buy into Lue's system, plays defense, hustles, make and take game-winning, game-deciding shots. James Harden, yes, I believe the Clippers team will be a team we might see in the NBA Finals, but yet they still have to face the Clippers. They still have to face, not the Clippers, the Lakers. And it's still a guy in Denver that nobody has an answer to yet. We keep adding guards. This is my thing. The Clippers, this is a great addition, all right? James Harden to the Clippers, great addition. Kudos to you. Awesome, amazing. A top 75 player in NBA history. You just added him to your roster. That is a great addition. You have 3 top 75 guys on your roster right now. You have Paul George, who will make top 100 in the next 25, 24 years. But you still haven't found an answer, okay, for this equation. And the equation is Joker. We still haven't found a big who can slow Joker down until a team acquires At least a solid big or two solid bigs to slow Joker down. The Denver Nuggets still are locked to go to the NBA Finals this season. You can add James Harden, you can add this guy, that guy, guards, but until you add somebody to slow down that monster in the paint, Nikola Jokic, it's nothing. It's a failed attempt until somebody is able to neutralize the Joker. All of this is just wishful thinking. Until next time, guys, peace.